Frag out. Come mierda, culeros. Ready? Fire, fire, fire.
All right, YouTube's day 27 of the shutdown. And if you guys are tired of getting high all day playing Ghost Recon or Call of Duty or whatever it is you're playing, I got 2 suggestions for YouTube channels you can check out to sharpen up your skills, or if you're a new HVAC technician, to really learn a lot. And those 2 channels are the Gray Furnace Man, and AC Service Tech. 2 really good educational channels that bring it to you in the blue collar way. I'll use those channels at work, and I'll give you an example. I don't work on a lot of heat pumps, but at the day job we have some. I had one the other day where I had to go through that wasn't heating. The heat strips weren't coming on, and I needed to refresh myself exactly how the sequencer worked, because I don't work on a lot of them. I got 10 million other things I'm working on all the time trying to remember. And you just pull up one of their channels, look it up, check it out, bam, right in the ball game. And they take a good approach of how to fix units or go through each piece without trying to be a rocket scientist, you know. And I really appreciate those 2 channels. So you can take this time to sharpen up your skills, or if you're just learning, to get really ahead of the ball game here while you have some free time on your hands. All right, I have went out and done a couple calls. Still NorCal's really slow. I'm sure a lot of you guys are too. I feel really terrible for those of you that aren't working at all. There's a few things I wanted to talk about on that too. Hold on a second, let me get a drink of the coffee. So yeah, I've had about a total of, I think, 7 calls since March 16th. And I'm not complaining about it. I'm actually feeling very blessed about that. That's pretty good. You saw a little freezer I worked on yesterday. I got to talking with that owner, and the day before, when I pulled the evaporator coil out, which I'll get you guys video of, I got to clean up this evaporator's so dirty. I can't wait to get that tidied up. We'll get some video of that too. I left it on the job site dirty so I can come back and clean it before I hang it all back up. Just talking with those owners of those businesses, I actually had one owner tell me that if he could sell his business right now, he'd sell it. And he's just trying to stay open so the workers don't get hosed. The other business actually shut down completely. And we'll get into that in a minute. And it's neither of them have an idea when this thing's going to get fired back up. None of us do. And it's neat going around and seeing what's happening and how everyone's trying to get their ducks in a row, and then some are saying it's not getting in a row. Talked to one guy that said filling out the application for the business loans on the bailout was a simple process. He's just waiting to hear back. And I've had other ones where the banks were asking them for collateral. So, you know, anytime you get the government involved, you know it's going to be a mess. So who knows how this thing's going to play out. I did want to talk about us as workers, especially you guys that have been laid off or fired. Please leave a comment below, because my brain gets to thinking, and I really want to keep track of this, is that when this thing does get fired back up and we're all back at work, and it's not going to be as it was normal before until they come up with a vaccine, but we'll be back at work hopefully at some point in time in some form of way. I just want to know if your bosses are going to hire you back at a lesser wage, lesser benefits, because that's really going to piss me off. And I already saw one report where the farmers are trying to lowball the farm workers coming in from Mexico that pick the crops. And that really rubs me the wrong way. Also, you know, they talked about they want to bail out the cruise ships who have their companies offshore so they don't pay taxes, right? And they want to get bailed out with a big chunk of this $2 trillion. Meanwhile, we have undocumented workers here in America that work, get a paycheck every week like we do, pay into the taxes that pay for the schools, pay for your roads, pay for everything, bridges, you name it, your city's police, fire, you know, because they're undocumented, they can't get unemployment. And to me, that's criminal. And I'm not talking about undocumented people on assistance that aren't working. I'm talking about people that are working, that have worked here for 10, 20, 30 years, have paid taxes, have paid into Social Security, and you know, they're going to get, in the end, they're going to get screwed because they're not going to get the Social Security money, but in the meantime, they've paid into disability, they've paid for the fire department, they've paid for the police department, heck, they've even paid for the people that are on assistance that are here undocumented because they're being taxed. Those people should be allowed to get unemployment, and that really is a sore spot with me. But I want to know if you guys go back to work, if your boss is going to lowball you guys to get a job back, because that would be really, really shameful. On a positive note, I have seen people out there getting by working. Like I said, weeks, or was it over 29 days ago, I had that little video about how we're going to be on the front lines working. A lot of HVAC guys are out there still working. Refrigeration guys are working. All the maintenance workers at the hospitals. You know, we all know the doctors and nurses are working, and the firefighters and the police department and that kind of thing. HVAC's out there working on the front lines, and you know, it's a great trade to be in, and you're providing food preservation, heating and cooling comfort, transport, you know, the trucks, the refrigeration for the trucking, huge, and we really don't get by without our refrigeration cycle, and it's a great thing. Those of you that aren't working, I feel terrible. I really do feel terrible for you guys not working, and for everybody that's out there grinding, hey man, you know, this bud's for you. I would like to know what you guys think. What criteria needs to be in place when you think people will be getting back to work, and how? I'll give you what I think. Worst case scenario, they're going to want 3 things in place: testing, antibody testing, and a vaccine. The vaccine thing, like you guys, I've done research, I've listened to people, anywhere from 18 months to 5 years is what I hear. But I'm not a scientist. I don't know. I know the whole world's working on it. Let's hope that's not the case. It's faster. I know the antibody tests right here. Well, I don't want to say a whole lot, but I know that the antibody tests are being worked on locally where I'm at, and that's coming, and that's on more than right now I know more than 4 labs that are working on antibody tests for local area. And testing, they dropped the ball on the testing. There is no tests out there. I know right now for my county, there's 8,000 tests available for my whole county, and that's what's today. Today's Easter Sunday. For my whole total county, there is only 8,000 tests available. So the testing, they're still way behind, probably about 2 months. I say about in 2 months' time, they'll have enough testing for everybody. And maybe by then, we could figure out some way how we're going to get back to work full time. Not sure. I would love to hear your comments on that. And hey, happy Easter to everybody. Stay positive. And shaka. Till the next one. Hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll chat at you later.